Okay, we're live on the Hangout. Trust my microphone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hangout.
And this is the live Hangout of us recording the Video Marketing Madness podcast. Local video strategy, says Ray today.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and start recording the audio. So I got everything I need here. Gotta make sure I got my notes ready to take. All righty. And as usual, we have all this stuff we will have all this stuff in the show notes. Okay. And I'm going to give you a 3, 2, 1, Ray.
Excellent.
3, 2, 1.
This episode of Video Marketing Madness is made possible by freevideoeditor.co. Have you been looking to start editing videos but don't want to spend thousands or hundreds of dollars on high-end video editing programs? Well, we've got the answer for you, a free high-end video editor at freevideoeditor.co. Want to do green screen, want to do three-point editing, want to do compositing, all of that stuff is built right in to our video editor at freevideoeditor.co. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about local video marketing and some strategies you can use to dominate local video.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
I got Spurs.
3, 2, 1. It's the radio show about Video Marketing Madness with Ray the Video Guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. Facebook page, Video Marketing Madness, Twitter, Video MKT Madness. We post shows, we post new shows, we post plenty of useful tips. And now, you know them, you love them, Ray the Video Guy.
Yes, another exciting week, and we're glad to be back. We apologize. We kind of skipped last week. I was kind of under the weather for a lot of the week, and I don't think anybody wanted to listen to me try and talk on a microphone. So I'm kind of glad we did that. If so, we apologize for not being here.
I was talking to my wife about that, and I said, I think that's the first time we haven't done a show that wasn't pre-planned. Like, well,
right,
I'm going to be on vacation or it's Christmas or whatever. Yeah.
So. I think so. But good to be back here on the Earn.Show Network. So we got to start saying that, Earn.Show Network.
That's right, because we are on the Earn.Show Network.
Yeah, so if you haven't checked out the Earn.Show Network, be sure to type in Earn.Show.
That's the URL. It's Earn.Show.
Well, it's another week of video marketing, and today we're going to talk a little bit about local video marketing because I do get a lot of people asking me questions about that. In fact, literally just before we got on the air today, I had people, or at least one person, who was going back and forth with me on some questions about local video marketing. So I thought that was an appropriate topic for today, and the fact that he was asking me that as we were prepping up the show. So that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
But, for those of you who don't know, I say was because since I've moved, I haven't really jumped back into it too wholeheartedly. But I used to be a very big local marketer. We, back in Salt Lake City, we had quite a few clients, actually. We had a lot of lawyers, a lot of bankruptcy lawyers, dentists, and a variety of other businesses as well, chiropractors and whatnot. But our biggest ones were bankruptcy lawyers, and then probably I'd say dentists. And we kind of get into some other law fields as well. But we had quite a few clients, and we actually still do. Some of them we still do some work for. I know that Will and Corey still do a lot of work for them, but since I moved, I don't obviously do as much with them as I used to. And I do work with a few here, but not like I did in the past. Just been focusing more on the training aspects and the actual physical video portions of things versus actually dealing with clients, which to be honest, was never my strong portion of what we did anyway. So we had people that took care of the local businesses on a personal level, and then I worked on strategies and things like that. So what we want to do is we want to talk a little bit about how video marketing can benefit local businesses, because there are quite a few ways that, I know he's peeking in on you there. I saw.
Yeah, the beagle. For those of you on the Hangout, there's my beagle. She's deaf, so she can't hear me. But
look at that!
Come on, girl. Come on. Yeah, she's a little. There she is. Okay.
But there's a lot of strategies and a lot of things you can do with video. The basic thing is before you get started with anything, whether it's video or any other type of strategy for local businesses, the one thing you got to look at is what is the goal of that particular business. And I don't necessarily, obviously the goal is they want to get more leads. They want to make more money. But there's more to it than that. You want to really understand not only their goals as far as, I want more leads, but you want to find out, what's their plan? I mean, do they plan on selling this business in a couple of years? Do they plan on passing it down to their families? Do they plan on doubling their business in the next 12 months? Do they need to double their business in the next 2 months? Or quite the opposite, are they just looking to slowly phase down a little bit? All of these things will factor into what you do and how you do it. And even though, you may not think of that right away on the surface level, it's very important to get this information because it's going to help you to design a program that's going to be best for them and what their goals are. And in many cases, you're going to get caught with a lot of blank stares because we used to have a questionnaire that we'd provide our local businesses. And in the questionnaire, it would say, what are you planning to do in 5 years? What's your exit plan for the business? Things like that. And they'd never been asked these questions before. So it kind of is a shock, but you really want to understand their entire business so that you can help them to achieve what their personal goals are, because you never know what those are. It could be they want more time. It could be that they want, more business. You don't know. So it's very important to start off from there and then design a strategy that will help them to achieve their goals. Because if they achieve their goals, they're going to be happier with you. And of course, they're going to continue to pay you. And that's what we all want. Okay, so how do we do this with video? Well, there's one problem with video, and it's not necessarily a problem with video itself, but one problem with the idea of video marketing is people tend to think it's a one-shot deal. Oh, hey, this is a chiropractor video. Well, that's great, but what kind of video is it? Because not all videos have the same purpose. Now, there are what we call magnet videos, which these would be the things that you'd put onto YouTube or onto Facebook that are designed to take people and bring them into your website. But there's also conversion videos, and these are the videos that you would have on your website to get the people that come there to take an action. Now, to put this into a slightly different perspective, for instance, I used to promote pretty heavily this one particular software. And the way that I promoted it was on YouTube, we had a video that would tell you why you needed this software right away and what kind of bonuses we'd have. When they clicked on the link in that video, it would take them to a page which had a different video. And that video would, hey, thanks for coming to the page. Here's why you want to buy this software. Take a look at our bonuses. And that would get people to convert to purchase the product. And then at the end of that, we would actually have another video that would thank them for making the purchase, give them the download, and offer them something else. And with local business, it really isn't much different than that. What you want to have is you want to have your magnet videos. Now, these are, and this goes back for those of you who are from the Traffic Geyser days, this will probably sound familiar to you. But what you want to do is you want to answer people's questions. And not only the questions they ask, but the questions they should ask. And in the old days, we used to call this part of the 10-10-4 strategy. And this was from Mike Koenig. So, Mike, I apologize if you think I'm stealing your ideas here, but I know that you've moved on from this and aren't dealing with that as much. But the idea being that you create 10 videos that answer people's questions that they often ask, basically FAQs. Then you answer 10 questions that they should ask, that they should know about. And a lot of times that's kind of the more intricate things that people don't think about, but they should be thinking about. And so you want to address those things, and you want to base it off of what people are actually searching. So you want to get your keyword research, and you want to make sure that, for instance, if we go back to bankruptcy law, there are so many different things people could be searching. They could be searching for Chapter 11. They could be searching for Chapter 7. They could be searching for Chapter 13. They could be searching for, is my house going to get taken away? Or is my car going to get repossessed? Am I going to lose everything that I have? Are they going to take my 401k? Are they going to take my tax return? Is bankruptcy right for me? There's just so many different topics that people are searching for. Even things like, is bankruptcy moral? we actually had a lot of people that searched that because they knew they were in a tough financial situation, but they didn't know if it was moral to do this, and they were worried about that. So what you have to do is research, find out what people are looking for, and then create an entire series of videos that are going to answer each of those questions and rank well in that area. So for instance, we create these bankruptcy videos, and let's say in my town, Lake Elsinore, if I'm going to do that, I would create these 20 videos, or maybe 10, depends on their budget and whatnot. And I would rank for each of those keywords that people are searching for. So for instance, if we know that people are searching for what is a chapter 13 in Lake Elsinore, then that's the keyword we go after. If they're searching for, am I going to lose my house? Then that's what we go after. And we make a video answering each of these questions, put them onto YouTube, rank them for those particular keywords, and then get people to watch the videos and have a call to action. Now, once they have this call to action, they're going to go to the website. Well, now you've gone from, hey, I can answer your question, to I want you to hire me. So now we've got to get into videos on your website that are going to convert these folks into paid customers. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to answer their further questions that everybody has. So this is where you get more of your sales video. And Stevie, I know you've done plenty of sales videos, correct?
Sorry, I had you on mute. Yes, yeah. I do a lot of. That's kind of what I do for attorneys when I'm doing videos. Are the sales videos? Absolutely.
Yeah, and the thing is these are just a different type of video from the FAQs, because this is where you go from answering their question to providing them with confidence that you are the person who can actually help them with their problem. Mm-hmm. And you've built their confidence a little bit already by knowing the answer to the question. But now what you want to do is you want to make a video that gets them to take an action, to truly take an action. They've already taken one action. They've clicked through to the website. So what you want to do is you want to make a video here that kind of hits their needs, their wants as a consumer. And for the most part, what people want in when they're a consumer or a potential consumer, what they want to know is they want to know, do you truly understand what their problem is? Okay. So you want to address that. For instance, in a lot of our videos, and I don't know if Corey's listening right now, but Corey's a big proponent of this, and we've worked on a lot of videos using this type of a strategy. But you want to address, for instance, when we talk about that first step, our videos may start with like, hey, if you're currently in a tough financial situation and the creditors are calling you day and night and you just don't know what to do. Okay, so what we've done there is we've hit that first concern they have. Okay, we understand. Now, we didn't give them any information yet. All we did there was we addressed their situation so that they know, okay, he understands where I'm at. He understands what the issue is here. They're getting harassing phone calls. They're behind on all their debts. They don't know what to do. They're not making enough money. So we've addressed that particular issue. Well, then what we want to do is we want to take this even further and let them know that not only do we understand their problem, but that we're the people that can actually solve this problem, that we have the experience to be able to do that. So this is where you get into, so if we start off with, if you've been getting the harassing phone calls, look no further than here. We've dealt with hundreds of people, thousands of people, millions of people, billions of people in a situation very similar to yours. So now we've addressed that not only do we understand their problem, but we have the experience to help work with their problem. Now, the next thing that they're going to worry about is kind of the more basic levels of things. Not only do you understand the problem and do you have the experience, but do you have the actual solution for me? So you want to make sure that your video addresses the fact that you've been able to create solutions for people in various situations. And in our videos, we like to list those situations. So this would be a part of the video where we would say something like, even if you've had, a bankruptcy in the past, or even if you've already had your car possessed, or even if your house is currently in foreclosure, we can help. Now, not everybody's going to be in one of those situations, but it shows that we have experience solving a lot of these issues, and it gives them confidence to know that we're going to be able to do that for them. And then, of course, the last part, which is the one that everybody thinks of first, is what do you think that is, Steve? When it comes to consumers, what do you think their next question is?
Let's see. How do I get in touch with you?
Well, that's part of the call to action. But the big thing here is, of course, price, cost, things like that.
Oh, okay.
And not so much cost per se, because they're, most of the time at this point, they're in a situation where they're willing to spend money to solve this issue, but it's more of they don't want to waste money solving this issue. So we want to make sure that we provide them with confidence that, if they don't like it, there's a guarantee. If they don't, if they're not satisfied, we don't charge anything. Or the famous lawyer one, we don't get paid unless you do, things like that. That's where you want to inject some of that stuff, because that's always a concern with people is cost. What if I don't like what I've gotten? How do I get out of this if it's terrible? That sort of thing. And you see that in direct marketing all the time, especially in the old, the old Chia Pet style direct marketing TV campaigns, 30-day money back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied, all of that kind of stuff, because it is a very powerful deal. Now, once you've done this, even though we haven't done this very often, and it depends on the situation, but one thing you may want to do is you may want to provide them with a reason to act immediately. Whether it's, hey, you know what, we can help, but we're only going to be able to do this for the next 24 or 48 hours, things like that. If you can put some sort of urgency in there and it makes sense, you definitely want to do that. That's more for direct sales, but it can certainly work in the local marketing as well. Because here's the thing that people seem to forget. We create these FAQs, these SAQ videos. We create this video for their sales page. That video can be changed at any time. You can make a different video every month. So you could, if you're a plumber, you could literally change your video that's on your website every single month. And this month it could be, only till the end of March, we're going to offer you 20% off. Only till the end of April, we've got special deals on water heaters, whatever it happens to be. So remember that the sales page video is very important, but can always be changed. You can always have a different offer. And the great thing about video is you don't necessarily have to change the whole video. If you've got a video on your sales page that works, you could attach an offer to the end of it and then swap out that offer and put it back up there, because you're not worried about videos ranking. You're not worried about any of that, because this is not a video to get people to your site. This is a video that you're going to use to sell them once they're already at the site. Now, going back a little bit, when we talk about those special offers, on the FAQ, SAQs, I highly recommend that you use YouTube cards. And if you're not sure what YouTube cards are, look it up. YouTube cards, you'll see what it is. But essentially what YouTube cards are little thumbnail-sized billboards that you can put in your videos. And the great thing about those is they can be swapped. So if you've got your 20 videos on YouTube leading people to your website, and you're running a special campaign for 20% off for the month of May, well, you can put a card on your video that says 20% off for the month of May. And then once June hits, you can change that card to offer something else special that'll get people to your website. So highly recommended that you do that. Again, I'm sorry for going backwards there a little bit, but I wanted to, since we were talking about special offers, I thought I'd throw that out there. Now, here's the other thing that people often forget that you can do with video is once you've got people in your system, you can deliver videos to them on related topics, on related products. You could do thank you videos. You can do, one thing that we did with some of our local bankruptcy lawyers is we actually built back-end membership sites. So for instance, if John comes in and wants, needs to go through bankruptcy, well, as soon as he becomes a client, he's put into our back-end system. And in the back-end system, we have a whole bunch of videos that answer questions. And, this is great for any type of business. Think about a plumber. You become the customer of a plumber, you get into their back end, and they've got videos on how to maintain your pipes, how to maintain your sinks, how to unstop, small clogs, things like that. There's a lot more value on there, and it keeps people remembering that when it comes time that they need a plumber, well, these guys gave us so much, we've got to call them. They're the best out there. So think about that for your clients, is creating back-end videos for their clients. In the bankruptcy field, it was a huge deal because one of the things that those guys deal with is people calling the office all the time. Oh, I got something in the mail today. What does this mean? Oh, I heard from the court today. What does this mean? And it can clog up the system. But if you've got a back end that provides information, that can really help with that particular area of the business, because now when people receive something in the mail, they knew it was going to be coming. They know what it's for, and they know what to do because you've told them. And the same can be done for plumbing. The same can be done for electricians. The same can be done for the veterinarians. I mean, you name it. Any of those types of fields can have that. Doctors, let's say you are let's say you're an orthodontist. I think that's a great example. There are a lot of questions people have after they get braces. If you put them into a system in the back end that answers all their questions, it's going to save you time and effort from people calling in. It's just a great way to use video to replace yourself so that you can take back your control of your own business. And that's always something that we want to do, because one thing we forget oftentimes is that these business owners, they want time to themselves. They opened up a business so they could have freedom. And they lose freedom, which is what people don't think about very often. But you actually lose freedom by opening a business oftentimes. And this helps to take some of that back for them so that they can actually have control of this business. So there's other types of videos we can use as well. We can have very specific videos for Facebook. These could be coupon-related videos. These could be, just how you doing type videos. All of those types of things. And the thing is, Facebook videos and YouTube videos can be very similar, but they also can be very different because you're talking about a totally different crowd in the two. Chances are, most times when people see a video on Facebook, it's been stuck in front of them. Whether it's through an ad or just in a news feed or, somebody shared it, things like that. Whereas on YouTube, people are usually finding videos because they're out searching for it. They're searching for a dentist. They're searching for a lawyer. And they happen to come across a video. So it's a very different situation, push versus pull. And your videos should address that a little bit as well. I think the Facebook videos need to introduce who you are and why you're there a little bit more than the YouTube videos, whereas the YouTube videos can get right into the situation because they opened up that video because they want to know an answer to something. So that's one thing to take note of, is the fact that those can be very, very different types of videos. Another thing that you can do is videos that are specifically for emails. So you could literally be sending out emails to clients and creating videos that explain further. Now, unfortunately, it's still the case where you can't really have a video in an email, but you can have a picture of the video in the email that leads them to a special page. This is great for sending offers to existing customers who you're going to speak to in the video differently than an unknown crowd. So you're going to be much more friendly with these people. They already know who you are. So you can create videos that are very different, but very specifically for emailing out to your list of customers. So that's another type of video that you can do. And by the way, if you're a video marketer, think about all these opportunities that you have to upsell to these clients to get them to do more stuff. And believe me, it can be a tough sell. The front end video's pretty easy to sell. The sales page video, fairly easy to sell. Once you get into these back end type things, it's a little tougher to sell because it may not lead to direct sales right away. It's much more of a grooming sort of situation that's going to bring you money in the future. It's going to keep your clients engaged, which is a tougher thing to sell than a video that might send people to your page right now. So you have to coerce them a little bit, really get them to understand why that's important. But it is a very important way to be able to engage with customers and use video to be able to do that. Now, another thing that you can do is, of course, advertising videos. And these might be videos for Facebook. And one really cool thing you can do nowadays that a lot of people don't think about is very specific videos for retargeting. And what I mean by that is we had a client who was a divorce lawyer. And one of the things that we created for him was retargeting videos. And what we mean by that is, they came to to this guy's website for whatever reason. They're looking to get a divorce. They're looking to find out more about a divorce, possibly getting a divorce. So what we did was we're retargeting the people that come there. And then when they're on a page that has advertisements that are retargeted, and they happen to be video retargeting ads, that lawyer pops up as an ad, hey, John, we saw that you came to our website today. Well, not hey, John, because obviously it could be anybody, but hey, we know that you visited our site today. And if you have questions about, getting a divorce, please feel free to give us a call. It's free of charge to talk to us, et cetera, et cetera. So you can create these videos that are very specific for people that have already been to your site and might run across the ad later. With divorce, maybe you want to be careful in case his wife happens to be the one to see the ad, but we'll leave that up to your discretion. Maybe she'll be the one who calls at that point in time. But the point being is that you can create ads for retargeting as well as for direct advertising. Now, one thing to note with local business is as we're doing this, especially with our front-end videos, our FAQs, our SAQs, we can actually use advertising inside of Facebook, inside of YouTube to be very specifically targeting towards some of these people. So for instance, if you're a local plumber and you create these FAQs and SAQ videos, you can then go into YouTube, use YouTube promoted videos, set yourself a budget. Doesn't even have to be much in most places. I mean, we're talking, $5 a day here. It does not need to be a whole lot. If it works for you, you can certainly up it and see if it works better. But you can probably start pretty small and then target your area to your town or the town and maybe the towns around you so that people 2,000 miles away aren't going to see your video because you don't want them to anyway. But you can pay money, very little bit of money, to get views from people in your area only that will watch those videos. Now, if anything, and if you're worried about the price, don't. If anything, the limitation to this isn't the money. The limitation tends to be the number of people searching. So, we've done small towns where, we set a budget to $5 a day and, we can barely spend $5 a week because there's just not enough people searching in that area to find your ad. And that's okay because you don't want to pay more money just for the sake of paying money. You want to pay for, people that are actually potentially customers. And if there's just not a lot of them, well, hopefully the ones that you do get will be able to pay you quite a bit of money to do that. So, Steve, what other types of videos do you think people should make?
One of the things I know that I have to kind of chuckle because I put myself on mute because I'm fast and furiously taking notes. And this was the first time that you asked me a question that I'm not over here writing notes down and everything. But one of the things that Fireman Mike Lemoyne does, and for those of you that go back to the old Traffic Geyser days, Fireman Mike was one of the first Traffic Geyser All-Stars, if not the first one. He was the first guy to make money off of ranking videos for competitive local keyword terms. Now, a lot of that has gone away. It's tougher to do. I've been good at ranking videos for attorneys using non-competitive keywords that still get searches, and I do it rather inexpensively. They're decent keywords. In many cases, what I'm doing is I'm ranking them in the suburbs around their office, and they get a few calls a year off of it. And for a personal injury attorney who's going to make $100,000 on a case, they're willing to pay you a couple $1,000s to do that for them. Getting back to the Fireman Mike example that I started with, he's not so much doing videos to rank them anymore, but what he's doing is the conversion videos that Ray talked about. You look at any of his customers and every page has a conversion video on there. And one of the things that he says, with a few attorney clients that I brought to them. People want to know who you are. They want to know that they can trust you. And if you do a video that says, "Hi, I'm Steve Sleeper. I'm a personal injury attorney. I just give me a call if you have any questions." If it turns into a case, that's great. But my big thing is I just want to make sure you're taken care of. That's going to help with conversions, that type of thing. So there is good money in building website conversion videos, and you can have them for every page. You can have them on the back end to answer questions, that type of thing. So, I'm really seconding what you said. And Mike's making good money doing that, keeping in mind he's doing a lot of website work now.
Sure.
I've made good extra money doing the sales videos and getting them ranked for non-competitive keyword terms. It brings great value to the attorneys. It's not a ton of work for me. I think if I'm, 4 terms take me about an hour, 4 keyword terms to feed out there, feed the videos out there, optimize them. I got to change up the videos so it's different content. It's taking me about an hour, and I'm charging $27 per keyword set. So, I'm not raping the attorneys. I'm making decent money on it. And I make an extra 10 grand a year doing that. So.
Nice. Well, and the good thing is here that while, you mentioned that it's a little tougher to rank videos these days, and to an extent, I agree, it can be, but on the other side of that, it is so much easier to run ads, and it's so inexpensive that, quite frankly, I still rank videos and all that, but it's one of those things where it's like, who cares at this point in time? I'll still do it. And if it ranks and it gets some people, that's great. But I know that running those ads is going to get people to call. It's going to get people's attention. And the thing is, it's going to do it that day. Now, granted, in a lot of local markets, you can probably rank a video the same day. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast in smaller areas. But, even in bigger areas, you can start getting calls for your clients today by putting up a video and running ads to it. And I've seen it happen far too many times to discount the idea. And, it's a very powerful way to do it. And it's a very easy way to be able to do that. And I don't even consider myself to be a YouTube ads expert by any stretch of the imagination compared to some of the other folks that I deal with who, they really understand this YouTube ad stuff. And they're doing all sorts of proper retargeting with YouTube ads and everything else, and just crazy stuff that blows my mind. But just a simple promoted video promoted to your area can make a big difference for a business.
Yeah.
And when we go back, I tell this story a lot because people don't understand the power of this sometimes. This is a great story. Back when we first were getting started, again, we were doing bankruptcy videos, and we were working with one particular bankruptcy client. And we were working directly with her and even answering phone calls because we wanted to learn, what happens in the whole process. So we literally would answer phone calls on, in the office and things like that because we really wanted to see how things worked. And I actually, for whatever reason, and I'm not even sure how this happened, but I got a phone call one day and it was on my cell phone. They were thinking that I was the attorney somehow. And I don't even know how my phone was mixed up in this, but I got the phone call. And it was from a marketing company that charges thousands of dollars. And it was a lawyer-specific marketing website. And they charged thousands of dollars to be on there. And, I talked to them for a little while and I said, well, what kind of results can I expect? How many calls can I expect to get? And they told me, well, in your area, you could probably expect to get between 2 and 7 calls a month. And I kind of laughed because we were not paying for anything. We were doing just YouTube videos, ranking YouTube videos and ranking on the map. And from that, she was getting 75 phone calls a month and getting 20 to 30 new clients every month from just the videos and ranking on the maps. Wow. And these guys wanted to charge thousands to get, 2 to 7 phone calls. So, I mean, it blew my mind that, you could get that much. And I don't think I realized how much that really was until I heard from these guys, that were all excited because they could get us, 2 to 7 calls. That's not even clients, that's calls. So, you'd have to convert that. But, we literally were getting her between 20 and 30 new clients every single month that were attributed directly to those marketing efforts. So it can be a very, very powerful way to get clients for your customers.
Oh, absolutely. And, backtracking just a little bit, competitive keyword terms, you can still rank videos. It's just more work than it used to be.
Oh, sure.
And we had a show on how to do that, by the way. So,
Yeah, and to talk about that just a little bit, it's always the basics. People ask me all the time, how do I rank a video? Well, just do the right things. It's not so much about doing tricks. It's knowing your keywords. It's getting the titles and tags filled out and the descriptions filled out, which most people just don't do. And that's going to take you 90% of the way there. Then you want to make sure that you share the video out on social media and do your social bookmarking and things like that. Make sure it gets indexed, because you could, if you optimize it really well, it may not show up because it's just not indexed. So you want to make sure that you ping the videos and do all that kind of fun stuff. And once you do, you'll find that in most cases you'll do okay with that. We're talking top of page 2, things like that. So then you want to really push it. You want to get maybe some backlinks and things like that. That's where you get into the more advanced SEO. But for the most part, you can get pretty close to page 1 just by doing the right things in your video itself. And then use ads. I mean, that to me is the best way to do it, is to just quickly run ads.
I use simple techniques. I upload the video to an authority channel. I've got my authority channel properly optimized to begin with. We've had shows on that. And then title, tags, description. Again, we've had shows on that.
Right.
Then I ping it. Then I run it through OnlyWire. Then I run it through Social Bookmark Commando. And by the way, before I do all that, I buy $5 worth of TrueViews, the AdWords for video. And 80% of the time, my videos are on page 1.
Nice. And I would say that's the case here as well. And we've even seen, where the giant thumbnail just from doing that stuff, and if you don't know what that is, folks, every once in a while you optimize a video to the point where you not only get onto page 1, but you get to the very top of page 1 and they give you a thumbnail that's gigantic on the screen where you can actually watch the video right inside of Google page 1. And we've had one client that I still have a video on page 1, the giant thumbnail, and it's been there for, it's got to be 2 years at least.
Oh, wow. And
it's still there to this day. It's in a small town, but there's competition there because they're in an office they've got competition in that very office, various attorneys, and here they are on page 1 with the giant thumbnail. So small town, but they have competition. And so that works out really well for them.
The rock star effect.
That's it. The rock star effect, or the movie trailer effect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, cool. Good stuff, Ray.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Very, very good show today. Good advice.
Darn it. I sprained my arm.
Yeah, well,
on the back.
And with a lot of the shows that we're going to be doing on Earn.show, this is good information to know. So,
It is. And maybe we should talk about that for a quick second here. For those who don't know, and we kind of have messed around with the name a little bit here, what we've done is
Earn.show?
Yes, Earn.show. We may have mentioned it a couple times. For those of you who don't know, we're actually part of a new network that we've created, Steve and I, called Earn.show. And what we're going to be doing, we're the first show on there, which makes perfect sense. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing other shows in so that you have one place where you can get business-related, I guess, marketing-related shows. And we'll be bringing in new guests and new radio programs and things like that into the Earn.show network. So very similar to going to Podcast One or one of those types of sites but it'll be business related. unless we expand out. But most likely with a name like Earn.show, it'll probably stick with the business-related side of things. And we should have some new content coming soon, which is good.
Yeah, and we will have some new content coming soon, and then we'll have probably an Art Bell type of network sometime in the future.
Well, that's good because he's officially on none right now, so maybe we could get him. I know. Ironically, I actually know a guy who brought Art back to an online network, and then Art quit a couple weeks later. So.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay. I thought I saw him doing podcasting on his website, but I haven't been there in a while. So
he was doing it with a guy I know named Brian Alvarez, who's got some sports related shows and things like that. And then apparently Art, did it for a little while and then quit again. So
yeah, okay, all right. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't think Art likes to work too hard anymore. So
no, I don't think he just likes to be in the high desert.
Yeah, in the high desert, in the middle of the night. It's the radio show about video marketing madness with Ray, the video guy, and I'm Steve Sleeper. We'll have I took notes, and we'll have them in the show notes today. So check that. Yeah, lots of good information from today's show. Today's show made possible by
freevideoeditor.co, the easy way to get your own video editing program that kind of competes with the big boys, but without the big prices.
Yeah.
You can actually download it right now, the Shotcut Video Editor, and you can do all sorts of high-end video editing like green screening and compositing of graphics and all that other fun stuff, 3D text, transitions, all that kind of stuff that we love about doing video. But you can do it completely for free. So check it out right now at freevideoeditor.co.
I've got Sony Vegas that I bought 5 years ago, but if Shotcut had been out then, I could have gotten by with that. I tried it out. It's very good. I'm saying here to what we're saying.
Excellent.
Our Facebook page is Video Marketing Madness, Twitter, Video MKT Madness, plenty of useful tips. And that's another show for this week. Why don't we wrap her up with the jingle?
Let's do it.
All right. And we're going to end the Hangout. Got anything to say to our viewers on the Hangout, Ray?
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
If you have any questions or anything, put them under this video. We'll be glad to answer them.
Yeah. I get notices when that happens. I think Ray does too. So, okay, y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.